अस्सलाम वालेकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू। उम्मीद करती हूँ सब खैरियत से होंगे। अच्छा, ये थोड़ी सी वीडियो रह गई थी हमारी ये वाली, ठीक है, इसको कंप्लीट कर लेते हैं।
Stand up for tashahhud, for your third rak'ah. The Prophet, whenever he sat alayhi salatu wasalam for tashahhud, he used to point his index finger, moving it, making dua with it. So the sunnah is to point it like this, shake it in its position, not circling like some people do, and not going up and down like people do, rather than pointing it and moving it. There is another hadith which is not as strong, not as authentic, which was narrated by Abdullah ibn Zubayr, may Allah be pleased with him and with his father, that the Prophet used to point and does not move. But the most authentic opinion is the hadith of Wa'il ibn Hujr, that he used to move it throughout. So when do we stop, Sheikh? You begin by saying, التحيات لله والصلوات والطيبات السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله, with different variations of this tashahhud. And I'm moving my finger. Point out that I can say either one, the hadith of Umar or the hadith of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. Assalamu alayka ayyuhan nabi. This is Ibn Umar, this is Umar ibn Khattab and others. Or I can say that what Abdullah ibn Mas'ud used to say, which is in Sahih al-Bukhari, Assalamu ala nabi wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And he said that we used to say at the time of the Prophet, when he was alive, Assalamu alayka ayyuhan nabi. But after he died, we used to say, Assalamu ala nabi wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So I can say either one. Now this is the first tashahhud. Do I offer salutation afterwards by saying, Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammad? No. The most authentic opinion is that this is the sunnah. Imam Shafi'i said that if you add salutation upon the Prophet in the first tashahhud, this is recommended. And the vast majority of scholars say this is okay, but it is not per the sunnah. So you stop at وَأَنَّ مُحَمَّدًا عَبْدُهُ وَرَسُولُهُ. Now, then you go and stand up for tashahhud, for your third rak'ah. In Fajr, I continue. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad, and I point out my finger throughout until I offer salam. If I'm in Maghrib or Dhuhr, Asr or Isha, I stand up for the third rak'ah. I continue the third rak'ah, the fourth rak'ah, and then I sit for the last tashahhud. In the last tashahhud, which is in a prayer that has two tashahhud, the first one and the last one, I sit in the position known as tawarruk. And tawarruk means that I sit on the hip, the wirk, and I sit on my left buttock. This is called tawarruk. And I erect my right foot as usual, but my left foot, which I used to sit on, now comes underneath my right leg. So this is called tawarruk. The Prophet used to do this in the third rak'ah in Maghrib and in the fourth rak'ah of Dhuhr, Asr and Isha. Now, I place my left hand over my knee with it. And sometimes it's erect so that I can lean on it, because I can see that my hip and my side is a bit tilted because of this way of sitting. And my hand is on my thigh, pointing my finger, and I'm looking, and this is something important. When I sit for tashahhud, where the hadith, the authentic hadith states the Prophet used to look at his index finger. So I should keep my sight through tashahhud while wiggling it or moving it in its position, shaking it. And this is the sunnah. Some scholars say you can also look at the position of your prostration, but the hadith proves that this doing it, and that is looking.
थोड़ा सा शायद आपको तो लग रहा हो ना ये आवाज अटक रही है, अभी थोड़ा सा इसको देख लें। मेरे ख्याल से जहाँ नहीं समझ आ रहा हो ना, नीचे सबटाइटल देख लें, सही है। और अभी पता नहीं शायद हैवी हो रहा है इसलिए ना, सही है। अभी जरा गुजारा करें।
I صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد till the end. And then it is recommended to say or seek refuge in Allah from the four things. اللهم نعوذ بك من عذاب جهنم وعذاب القبر من فتنة المحيا والممات من فتنة المسيح الدجال. And then I can ask whatever I want, same as sujood, because this is a place where the Prophet told us alayhi salatu wasalam, that you should select whatever you want from dua in this position. So I ask for Allah's forgiveness, I ask for Allah's provision, I ask for Allah's health, to guidance, etc. And then recommended to conclude before salam by saying, Allah ala dhikrika wa shukrika wa husni ibadatik. This dua of Mu'adh ibn Jabal, some say it's before salam, others say it's after salam. I'm inclined to say it before salam because this is the time of dua. And then I offer salam. And how do I offer salam? I say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. If you notice, I did not pause. I did not say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. It's not this way. And it's wrong to say it. People say, Assalamu alaikum and then turn. No, it should be simultaneous. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. And the sunnah is to make those behind you see your cheek. So you don't say, do this. So they see your cheek, as they reported it in the companions. We used to see the whiteness of his cheek, alayhi salatu salam, to the right and to the left. Among the common mistakes, your hands. In the tashahhud, after you finish, people usually do this. What is this? It's a sign that they have concluded. Who are you signing this for? So while in the tashahhud, they finish the tashahhud and the imam is still praying. So they say, Allahumma inni ala dhikrika wa shukrika wa husni ibadatik. By the way, guys, I'm finished. Some of them in salam, they would say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, as if they're giving right indicator, left indicator, they're driving. I think it's part of driving lessons. No, it's wrong. You don't have to do this. You're not turning right or left. So doing this is prohibited. The Prophet saw the companions moving their hands while in prayer, and he said, do not do this like the tails of wild horses. You know, the tail of the wild horse is always wiggling and upright. And the Prophet prohibited them from saying this. And it is important to learn how to pray according to the Sunnah, and that you're doing this for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. Some of the brothers in the standing position, when they're praying, and the end of the surah is min al-jinnati wan-nas. The Imam is reciting, and I'm praying behind him. The moment he says min al-jinnati, he lets go. What is this? This is indicating that I know that this is the last verse of the Imam and that he's going for ruku'. And this is acknowledged in long surahs. So if he's reciting from a long surah that people don't usually know, and I know that he's going to make ruku' now, I let go. So people next to me say, oh, mashallah, he's a hafiz. He says, Sheikh, I didn't do this for that intention. Why did you do it then? Don't. Follow the Imam. As long as the Imam is doing this, you do it. The moment the Imam says, Allahu Akbar, you let go. But not fulfilling this and doing it before the Imam means that there's something wrong Either you want to inform people that I know the surah and I know that he's going for ruku', I'm a smart man. Or there's something wrong, I don't know what. Another thing that a lot of the Muslims fail to do is the moment the Imam says, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, you find the congregation doing this. And if the Imam take his time to do the left one, they say, come on, man, I'm waiting. Imam, what are you doing? Come on, yahi, my neck is hurting. So they do this, and this is totally wrong. They should wait until the Imam says, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Now they say their first taslim, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Assalamu alaikum. So it is wrong to do taslim with the Imam when he first does his first. No, you have to only move after he finishes the salam. Also, a very common mistake is how you follow the Imam. What do you mean? The companions of the Prophet ﷺ told us in an authentic hadith that when we used to pray with the Prophet ﷺ, we did not bend our backs. Now they're in the standing position, huh? Their backs are straight. We never bent our backs until the forehead of the Prophet ﷺ touched the ground. Whoa! Meaning that if the Prophet says, Allahu Akbar, they wait until his head touches the ground, then they start descending. The vast majority of people, the moment the Imam says, they immediately go and fall. Maybe they're fitter, faster than the Imam, so they race him and they go to prostration before the Imam, and this invalidates their prayer. So you be careful. You do not move from the pillar you're doing to the following pillar until the Imam reaches it. So in ruku', he says, Allah, you don't, until he bends. Then you bend. When he says, Sami Allahu liman hamida, once he's erect and standing, you stand up and you cascade this to all of your prayers. People ask, when we stand in the direction of Qibla, so how pinpoint should we be exact in our direction? Well, the Prophet told us the answer. The sisters say, are our prayers similar or different to men prayers? A lot of the sisters also ask about their attire when praying. How do we pray a traveler's prayer? What are the conditions where tayammum is allowed in order to pray? How to pray the missed rak'ah? There are people who kiss their thumbs during adhan and iqamah when Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah is said. Is there any proof of this? Definitely not. Question. Can one pray sunnah of Fajr after the fard salat?
ठीक है ना, बहुत सारी इनकी सीरीज है वगैरह है, तो वो आप लोग अपने एंड पे देख सकते हैं। ठीक है, चलो सेशन को एंड करते हैं। जज़ाकल्लाहु खैरन कसीरा, सुब्हानकल्लाहुम्मा व बिहम्दिका, नशहदु अल्ला इलाहा इल्ला अंता, नस्तगफिरुका व नतूबु इलैक। कोई कुछ कह रहा है क्या? ओके, अस्सलामु अलैकुम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातहू।